Good morning. You are watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. Hi, I'm Mary Beth Nave, and welcome to The Workplace, where we show you how to make the most out of your profession and give you the latest career trends to stay ahead of the corporate game. Well, before I introduce to you today's topic, we will turn you over first to Dean Hernandez. She's the Dean of Wellness to give you the health and wellness tip for the week. Dean?
Hello there out there, GNN subscribers and Destiny Cable viewers. Welcome to our workplace, and our wellness tip for the week is go out there and breathe fresh air. And today we'll have a guest that will bring us to a different workplace, the farm, where we will try to promote and give you tips on how to get the most out of the opportunities of nutritional wellness on malunggay, or moringa as it is known worldwide. It is grown here in the Philippines. We are blessed by God to have the ability to grow this in volume, and we still have a lot of opportunity to do that. So what is malunggay, or green chlorophyll, which has been proven to really help boost our immune systems? We've known it, Mary Beth, as something you put in your tinola and something lactating mothers take to produce more milk. But I understand it's good for all shapes and sizes, all ages of any human being that likes good food. So would you like to
introduce our guest today? Of course, actually, to all our viewers out there, moringa or malunggay, that's going to be our topic for today. But we're not just going to be talking about the plant. We will be talking about its benefits and the opportunities that come along with it if you're looking for other business opportunities, because our special guest today, she's known as the Moringa Queen. So without any further ado, I'd also like to introduce to you our very special guest for this morning, Miss Bernie Arellano. Good morning, Miss Bernie.
Good morning. Good morning, Dean, too.
Good morning.
And you're also a member of the Board of Trustees for the Philippine Institute of Traditional and Alternative Healthcare, representing the natural food industry.
That is
And
correct.
you're also the Managing Director of SBE Farming Enterprises.
That's correct.
So again, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, now I'd like to ask you, what makes moringa so special?
Well, it's really called and known all over the world as the moringa, as a miracle plant.
Miracle
miracles.
plant.
Yeah.
Why,
Because-
what's its powers? What kind of miracle does it perform?
Oh, lots of miracles, and you can make use of all the parts of the plant. So,
Like from leaf to stem to root?
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And a lot of people around the world have known this plant even during the biblical times. And of course, the name wasn't moringa that time.
What was it known for back then?
They just called the tree that was thrown into the river that cleared the water of the river
Yes,
and made it sweet.
Yes.
How did it clean the water?
Okay. The moringa pod, it can grow to a meter long. It's like a pea pod, and the seeds inside have a wrapper. It's like a wafer wrapper, like the lumpia wrapper, and has this ability to coagulate, right? That was the term
term.
used by our
w-
queen.
What was discovered even during that time was if you pound the seeds, then it could coagulate dirt and dirty particles along the river. So what I learned from Fort Myers in Florida, to my surprise, was that power of the seeds to be able to take out the dirt from the water so that the water could be used for drinking or for cooking.
So is this possible that we probably get 2 truckloads of moringa and throw it to the Pasig River and hopefully it gets cleaned up?
No.
Why don't we try it?
No, but the seeds are now being used to filter air and water.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it could really help our countrymen who I know they're not that enough potable water systems yet. They could use the moringa to try to separate the mud from the clear drinking water. It would really, but see, we need technology to help us do that. And it was our queen of Moringa, Bernie, who brought in Dr. Sansover, a lady in charge of Moringa News. She's been studying Moringa all over the world, and she came here on her own. And Bernie brought her around to see how much potential we have in the country.
Yes, but the problem is there were 60 people who registered as members of the Moringa News, where she is executive director. And she was very curious about what's going on in this part of the world. So she came by and she was expecting that she would be able to visit the farms of the 60 members registered.
Yes.
But she
What
couldn't
happened?
find anyone.
And she's the only one with that 1-hectare farm.
Yeah, I have a model 1-hectare farm that has 30,000 trees.
Okay, so currently, what need can we address? We're looking for those who have farms in the different provinces, at least. So
Yes, I have gone to the Visayas region where data shows that most of the moringa plants are situated. I also went to Mindanao recently, visited Davao and Samal. When I was in Dumaguete, I was able to see Siquijor, and I found out that there are really moringa plants, but along the highway and at the backyard of each
Yes.
home. Problem is there is no commercial planting except what I saw in Sipaway Island across Negros, and I saw about 200,000 trees planted in that island.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, this is the encouragement we'd like to share with our GNN cable subscriber partners out there in the 7,100 islands in the Philippines. Moringa grows so easily in backyards, but to be able to produce the powder, which is so powerful, and they say it's even better than some of the green tablets that you take as supplements, we need to grow it on a commercial level. And
Okay.
our Moringa Queen is championing that. We have founded Moringaling Philippines.
Moringaling.
Yeah, kasi
Philippines.
galing sa Pilipinas yung moringa.
Is there a website to this?
We're still creating it because it's not the problem of coming up with a website. It's updating it.
Oh, because there's
That-
so much information.
That is correct.
Now, probably for the sake of our viewers, we're talking about moringa, and you already mentioned some of its benefits, which is it coagulates, it collects dirt, and and it actually cleanses the water and the air.
The air.
Now, what about for the body? What are the benefits? when
It's actually known even during our great grandfathers that it's good for lactation. It increases, yes, the
So
milk
will
production.
Will men
Lactating
lactate
fathers.
if they take moringa? They won't.
Well,
right?
there's a good effect on men too.
Okay.
They will make their wives very happy at night.
Yeah,
Alright.
I was told secretly that it can correct the dysfunction of the men who are reaching andropausal stage.
So
Andropause is like menopause.
So
Yeah.
more than the Viagra.
Yeah, more than
Okay,
that.
it would
yes.
help. All right.
You
And-
know, you could equate that with like Manny Pacquiao, who would be taking moringa, his tinola with lots of moringa leaves before a fight.
So that's why he's very aggressive
That
in
is right.
terms of the fight.
Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, people kind of wonder how did he garner those 8 titles in several divisions, you know? And the secret of Mommy Dionisia is he's been feeding
it's not
Manny
a secret
Pacquiao
anymore.
since he was young with malunggay. And he
Malunggay.
keeps that discipline before the fight. During his training, he takes loads of malunggay. And you know, instead of just taking it in powder, you can also, I buy 5 pesos worth of malunggay and put it on all the possible viands that you can prepare.
Which is more effective? To take it as it is, like a plant wherein you mix it with your tinola or your food, or is it more effective if it's in powdered form?
Well, this is being studied now.
Mm-hmm.
What has come out of the research is that you will have to take in about a cup of fresh leaves every meal.
Oh, that's
So
a bit too
that's
much.
that's you get tired of taking this now every meal.
And
So
chewing it.
the leaves is about 10% of the fresh leaves. The efficacy, you just have a pill or a capsule to be taken 4 times
A day.
and you're at the best of
Equivalent,
your
yes.
health.
They were just flashing on
Yeah,
the screen.
the
countries,
countries.
if I were God today and I planted moringa in all those countries in the map that is being shown in your screens, the irony and the paradox is he made it possible for this plant to grow in countries where there's so much malnutrition. That's why our Moringa Queen and Fairy Godmother is going to try to address the malnutrition,
And educate the people.
in the Philippines, because we are one of the countries where it grows best.
So what we're seeing right now on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a photo of where the moringa can actually grow or is growing and where it's abundant. So and
the green parts.
Yeah, and the Philippines is one of those fortunate
Yes.
countries that we have a lot of moringa. Now, how do we take advantage of this as a country, as a people? What should we do? I mean, we see a lot of these natural resources around, a lot of minerals, a lot of blessings. How should we take advantage of this? How can people actually manage it properly?
That's the reason why Dean and I thought of forming the Moringaling Philippines Foundation. And the advocacy that we were trying to promote is for people, the Filipino people, be aware of the benefits of moringa and to be able to show the farmers that they could have an additional income by growing it. There's a big world market for moringa products, and that will augment the income of the male farmers and their wives to come up with products containing moringa.
Yes, when I met Bernie at her son Drew's birthday run, she shared with me moringa powered pandesal.
Moringa powdered pandesal. So it
No,
tastes
moringa was placed as an ingredient of the
Yeah, that's why it's
Pandesal.
powered by
Where is it
moringa.
powdered or powered?
You were correct either way.
Either way.
Because it was in powdered form,
That is
mixed
correct.
in pandesal.
Yes.
So did it look green?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was delish.
And it didn't taste like
It
pandan?
was
No.
It
It
didn't
was,
taste like pandan.
Dean, it was delicious because the recipe came from Henny Season.
Ah.
She's a culinary expert, very much into our movement.
You should have a competition then, like
No, this-
what kind
this
of
is the
dessert or food
lifestyles.
can you actually mix with moringa, or how can you use moringa and what kind of recipes?
In
Ah,
fact, Mary Beth, with your young audience, for those who are taking up culinary, you might want to experiment, okay? Because I've been to Rosales, Pangasinan, and Bernie was able to assemble the barangay captains. They said, Mom, no problem. We have 2 or 3 moringa trees in our backyard. So, you can start experimenting with dishes. Put as much malunggay because it's not...
Right.
It's not maanghang.
It's not. It's not.
It's
yeah.
nice, no?
And you can eat it straight as long as you clean it. As long as you clean it.
Yeah, wash it. But the thing is, there are other parts of the moringa pod which her brother has grown a meter long, okay? And the seeds, which are now bought at 10 pesos per kilo, is what
No,
can...
it's 10 pesos per piece.
Oh, per...
You said corrected.
Okay.
Because I was
Sorry.
like,
Stand
it was
corrected.
10 pesos
Oh,
per kilo.
no.
That's,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
a
all
lot
right. Per
of leaves.
piece, okay.
Okay.
No, because moringa can be produced into oil, something like olive oil. So it can be that
You can put it on
nice on food, yes, on
Pizza,
pizza.
pasta.
Yeah, exactly, the kind that you like to eat.
Oh,
And then it can also, hopefully, if we had the volumes, turn it into biofuel additive
Right.
as well.
Now, Ms. Bernie, I'm actually very curious. When did you first encounter Moringa?
About 5 years ago, I joined.
Only?
Yes, I joined this group, the PhilAm doctors who would come yearly to the Philippines to render mission, a medical mission. And long before they arrive, they already screen their patients for operation, and they take care of paying the laboratory fees. And in one of the occasions, my classmate, my former classmate in St. Scholastica, Lydia D. Ragos, who is the wife of a neurosurgeon
Yes, in
Cardinal
China.
Yes, in
Chinese general
Jen.
has. Uh-huh.
She brought me to Samar because she was the Philippine coordinator, and they would like to check whether there is really a hospital that has 4 operating rooms, and there is a nearby R&R center, the research and recreation and what's
Development.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went with the group to visit Samar, and we of course inspected the provincial hospital, etc., private hospital, and then we looked for this place, the Surf Camp, which is really a 5-star hotel in Samar, and we never heard of it before.
Okay.
Only the foreigners know about it.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
them who knew about it.
Yes.
All
We're
right.
normally the last to know
Mm.
because these resorts are for the
Oh.
AB Upper C.
But this group had a problem. They would stay only in the Philippines for 2 weeks, and they would not be able to monitor the patients that they had operated on.
Right.
So they were thinking maybe we should go into preventive medicine instead of, yes. That's the reason why Moringa came into center stage. They were thinking of coming up with a program instead of coming here to the Philippines and operate on patients, was to develop wellness among those.
And preventive.
Yes, preventive medicine. So when I visited the United States, and these American doctors were planning to go to Fort Myers in an to look at the organization called EcoFarm, they invited me to go with them, and there I discovered that the volunteers, who are actually professionals like engineers, computer technicians, etc., who would render service by doing manual labor in the eco farm of about 3 acres. They have a library, they have a store, where we found at that moment neem toothpaste, neem cream,
Out of
Oh.
neem trees.
Yes.
Out of neem
Right.
trees.
Very
Yeah.
natural.
Yes, so that gave us an idea, and then they were growing aratilis, they were growing pineapples in that
We
part
all
of-
have that.
Yeah, that's why. And the purpose of Eco Farm was to be able to make people aware in the third world countries the benefits that could be derived from natural products, indigenous plants that grow in that area. So in their library, we found recipe books on moringa,
Or malunggay.
yes,
Yeah.
or malunggay. We found this book, The Miracle Plant, by Professor Marco, and all other writings on moringa, and that made us very curious. We also bought products like the neem toothpaste and all those, just to give us an idea. So when we came home, the very first thing that Lydia and I thought of was to organize a group to be able to
Nurture
yes,
moringa here.
the thought of having preventive medicine applied in the rural areas.
Okay, so is it possible also to turn the moringa or malunggay into toothpaste and soap?
Yes,
and
so my friend who is an engineer is already exporting moringa products whose base is virgin coconut oil, and she exports to boutique stores exclusively. Not she is limited to sell up to other stores, no, and she is able to come up with facial cream,
Beauty products.
with
natural.
foot spray, so
the
that
complete
Package.
personal
cosmetic
care,
personal care,
care
yeah.
products.
Okay.
So
Yes, go ahead.
so it's not only food, but cosmetic products.
A whole
are
range of
yeah.
wellness personal care?
use mostly the Ben oil. Ben oil is the international name for moringa oil.
Ben, B-E-N.
BN.
Oh.
All right. And with that, to all of our viewers, please don't go away because there's going to be a lot more to talk about, especially business opportunities if you're interested. And if you have a lot of access to moringa or malunggay, we will be talking about that right here in the workplace when we return. So don't go away. Hi, welcome back to the workplace, and our special guest this morning is of course nonetheless the Moringa Queen, Miss Bernie Arellano, and of course with us is my co-host, Miss Deanne Hernandez. So good afternoon again to both of you.
Hi.
Hi.
So earlier we were talking about the benefits of moringa and what you can do with it, and we just, well, according to the two lovely ladies, we only barely scratched the surface because there's a lot more you can do with moringa. So maybe just to go over what we've talked about, maybe Miss Bernie or Queen Bernie could let us know the actual benefits of moringa.
Okay, those who have taken the capsules.
Okay.
When I say those who have taken the capsules, they take 2 after dinner, 1 after breakfast, and the other 1 after lunch. The immediate effect is they sleep very well.
I need this.
Oh,
Okay,
you need
I
this.
need this. I'm too hyper. All right.
And then those who have pains like arthritis and
On
so
the
on,
knees.
yes,
Yeah. On the fingers.
then they are relieved of the pain.
Really?
Yes.
Even arthritis in the hands and the legs, it will be relieved. Okay.
Provided you take it regularly. Because if you just take it for a day, it won't have the effect.
Okay.
So,
Sustained 4 capsules or tabs a day.
yeah,
Alright.
each capsule would contain 350 milligrams of powder, pure powder. If you get your capsules from commercial outlets, you have to check the label whether it is pure, because some of them enhance it with vitamins which are
Mixed
chemical.
already.
So-
it's not as natural.
Yes,
It,
it's not.
the more natural it is,
The better.
The better. Okay. And then what other effects can?
And that's the reason why even from the start, when you plant it, you'll have to be organic farming. You have to
No pesticides.
no nothing, no chemicals whatsoever.
No fertilizers.
No, you can use fertilizer that is organic.
Natural, organic.
Okay. And then I think you also have your personal story you'd like to share because
Oh yes, Bernie is a living miracle. If she called and referred to malunggay as a miracle plant, she has the right to do a testimonial. So Bernie, please share your pancreas experience.
Yes.
Pancreas.
What happened?
That's a nice title, pancreas
Pancreas
experience.
experience.
Well, I was found to have a cyst in my pancreas, and it's a good thing that it grew at the tip of the pancreas, not at the head. The tip is close to the spleen, and the head is close to the stomach.
Oh, okay.
And I had to undergo surgery, and my very good doctor, Dr. Sami Ang, is known worldwide to be doing it like ordinary
Yeah,
operation.
it's like pulling teeth.
Yes. And so I had been prepared, and I underwent the knife. And then the following day, during his rounds, he came to my room, and then he was asking how I was, if I had passed a gas, and if I have, gone to bathroom and
Right.
had urinated. And I said yes. And he was very amazed. He said,
wow.
I'm
Because
so amazed.
post-surgery, normally,
you
it takes
usually
time.
don't
No,
do that
no,
immediately.
not
Okay.
Not the next
immediately.
day.
So I was thinking I was taking moringa religiously, and I said maybe that's the cause. And I recuperated very well and very fast. And my parents are aged 93 and 94.
And
Wow.
they take a lot of
Yes,
malunggay.
they also take
Uh-huh.
malunggay. And my I don't know if my mother-in-law takes moringa, but she's turning 100.
Wow.
And she
Oh,
still
so
dances
She still dances.
the
Ballroom.
tango.
Oh, the tango. Not,
Okay,
not any ordinary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is me just looking at people who dances the tango,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I try
can you
to
imagine
imitate.
at 25 what you look like at 100 years?
And she takes moringa religiously,
Yes.
and she dances the tango.
Yeah. Well, I am not very sure about her taking moringa religiously because she's a medical physician. So
Oh.
not
So she
all
takes
medical
care.
doctors
Yes,
believe
like to
in
do
herbs.
natural.
Yes.
But you know, I was watching, ladies and gentlemen, the other night where President Obama is still trying to pitch his Obama health care.
Oh.
And with a 14 million trillion debt of Uncle Sam or the US, for their population to really remain healthy, this is the reason why complementary alternative medicine, where Miss Bernie, our queen bee, is a director of the Philippine Alternative Healthcare under the Department of Health, is so critical because we're trying to share with our Filipino nation that you can take your wellness and health in your own hands by beginning to take natural foods which abound in our country.
But you
Right.
know, Dean, it's a sad story to say that our traditional healthcare programs in way behind all the ASEAN countries. And this coming November, we're hosting a conference among traditional medicine practitioners here in our country. And we are preparing a paper that will be the Philippine stand on the harmonization of our Food and Drug Industry Administration and the PITAC. We would like to follow our ASEAN neighbors so that the herbal medicine will be highlighted. And in fact, there is a move that we could charge just like the ordinary medicine, the pharma, to be able to get discount as a senior citizen.
Yes, for
And-
all alternatives
Yes,
and herbals.
and also
yes.
PhilHealth. PhilHealth could very well cover practitioners in traditional medicine.
Well, I'm one. I practice energy medicine. In fact, tomorrow I just got a call from Dr. Galvestan. He has this 2-week integrative medicine where he tries to share with our allopathic third year UPPGH medical students on giving them a wide range of knowledge on complementary alternative medicine, which PITAC
is part of.
Yes,
And I think
for the
it's
Philippines.
amazing that we have different sources of information, because at the end of the day, it's really up to you and it's your choice which you think is more appropriate for
Whatever
yourself.
works,
Whatever
yes.
works for you. And what we do is we really just give you all the information that we hope that you would utilize and maximize. And then later on, which you think is really best suited for you and your lifestyle, then go for it. You know.
Well, Bernie and I have gone around the provinces. In the backyards, there are normally malunggay trees there, but I just wonder if the
If they
father and
know
mother, they just
that
pick
it
it up
is
and
malunggay.
drop it into their
Water.
food.
Right.
Yeah, the soup and the
Or even water,
viands
right? You
and
can
water.
you can have it or if is it ideal to have like malunggay and drop it in warm water, or do you tend to kill the enzymes?
Yes. You have to
So-
keep the temperature lower than 60 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, you'll lose all the nutrients.
So how's that when we cook it with the tinola?
That is why we are
Then-
teaching Filipinos how to cook correctly.
Properly.
And how do you cook properly?
When your chicken is done,
that's
when
the
you just-
only time you put it.
and turn off the fire.
Yeah, turn off the fire
Oh,
already. You know,
okay.
ladies and gentlemen,
I see.
I am an
learning.
advocate of functional food, and the nutrients that our Queen Bee Bernie is saying
Queen Bee.
is, you know, the moment your veggies are no longer dark green or apple green,
They're
that means
gone.
you've overcooked
Cooked.
it and the nutrients are
Are
gone.
gone.
Yes.
But I'll give you a tip.
Okay,
This
go ahead.
morning, my breakfast was frozen fresh leaves of what's this, pumpkin.
Okay, and then
Of-
where do you
I washed them from the farm. I washed them, put them in Ziploc, put them
Okay.
in the freezer.
And then?
So what I do is I put a drop of oil. Usually I use olive oil.
And then?
Bawang, garlic, and then sliced onions. And
Stir
then,
fry?
yes, and then I put all kinds of leaves, and I put a little water, and I use brags for instead of
The vinegar, the apple cider, or the
no,
liquid
no.
seasoning?
That's the liquid seasoning.
Okay.
And that's what I take for
Okay, I'm
breakfast.
hungry right now.
We will eat after this.
No, so I have a quick question, Queen Bee.
Yeah, I think that's
appropriate, Queen Bee. Now, for those who are interested, like let's say they have so much malunggay in their
Yes.
own backyard, how can they turn this into a business?
Okay. Right now, you can bring your leaves to the public market.
Okay.
But sometimes there's a glut in the public market. So you have to preserve your leaves. What you do is wash it well, dry it upside down, just like when you dry the flowers.
Air dry.
Air dry, not under the sun.
Yes.
And then you can take out the leaves if they don't fall naturally underneath the hang. You know, when you hang your clothes, that's where you hang it, but you have to put elastic band. Yeah. And
Okay.
inside your bedroom. Let
So
it air.
it'll be preserved.
Yes, it will be preserved provided
Naturally dried,
yes,
air dried.
naturally air dried, but you have to be sure that it is really dry because molds and yeasts will form if there's a little wetness.
Okay.
So you put them in sterile bottles, and then if you want to drink it, you know what? You get a stainless steel, and then you roast it a little under low fire, and that is your tea.
Yes. Malunggay tea is very nice.
Very,
It's
very good.
Very soothing.
But let
very-
me warn you, do not boil it.
Yeah, then you kill
Yes,
the enzymes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be hot water, or in the US they call it blanch. You just pour hot water, and that's it. No overcooking. I think the way we eat our dinding and all,
we
pinakbet,
we
we have a
tend to
tendency to overcook.
cook because we like it well done rather than raw.
There's an international movement now promoting slow food.
Slow cook food.
No,
not fast
slow food. Because
slow
of the
food,
fast food.
Now they want it
Oh,
slow food.
Yeah.
That's nice.
This is the mastery of paradox that, the world is turning around,
Yeah,
So
going back.
we have to learn how
Going back
to
to nature.
undo what we used to learn.
And also, I'll let you know that not all moringa leaves taste the same.
Yes.
Okay, so how would you know which is the
Well,
best tasting one?
no, you have to taste it. If it's bitter and spicy,
That's mature.
that came from India.
The variety
Remember,
came from India.
Yeah, remember that the Indians eat curry. They eat,
Okay.
Turmeric, yeah.
So-
So,
So, right now, the Bureau of Plant Industry is fingerprinting the varieties.
Oh, amazing.
There-
So we've got different flavors of
this
of,
is a whole
moringa.
science in itself,
Yes.
Mary Beth. For
In
those,
the books, it says there are only 13 varieties in the Philippines. But
But
right
I think
now,
there's
we
much
have
more.
identified 34 varieties in the Philippines.
Amazing. So, do you have any learning programs or training programs to teach, like, let's say, farmers or those who think that they have a green thumb to be able to manage these kinds
Mary
of...
Beth,
Yes.
I don't have a green thumb.
Okay.
But my moringa plants are growing lusciously.
because she's the queen bee. She has
No,
the
you
bee
don't
workers and drones
No,
to
you
manage
just have
it.
to prepare your soil very well. You have to have it examined because it should not contain lead. Because the lead content of your soil goes up the plant.
And we would eat it.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
would
That
harness
is correct. Yes. So that's the first thing that you do. But if you want to know more about planting, propagating, producing, processing,
Yeah.
please be a member of Moringaling Philippines Foundation.
And how
We
do they
meet-
do that?
We meet every third Thursday in the conference hall of wildlife in
The DNR
Yes.
facility.
and we exchange information. We do not keep secrets from each other. We just share whatever experience we have had. And I always joke them, you know what I'm sharing with you was my tuition fee because I failed so many times.
Yes, she tried planting in Pampanga cuttings and they all died.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, try and try again until you get that one light
Exactly.
bulb and get
But
that
this is the
electricity.
miracle tree, Mary
Yeah,
Beth,
miracle
and
tree.
I really would like to ask all our LGUs, our mayors, our 46,000 barangays to start encouraging your constituents to look at your backyards because you may have malunggay there and even just for family consumption for making it into tea or cutting the green leaves and putting it in your viands and over rice.
Eating it like chips. I mean, you know, you just
Well,
pluck from the...
You know that the seeds in the pads in Africa and in India eat the seeds like peanuts because they have
Really?
so many moringa.
Nutrients?
Yes,
Ah.
they have planted to 350,000 hectares of moringa.
Oh, wow.
Then maybe we should we should teach people to fry it like peanuts with garlic, sangag, whatever.
Yeah,
Hungry.
Is that
and the pods are canned and they are cooked like asparagus in Europe.
Why don't we do that, ladies and gentlemen? If you have moringas growing in
your
backyards or in your towns, actually, the Moringaling Philippines, we are here to nurture all of you to wellness and. Malunggay is not only for lactating mothers, it's for your children, it's for the fathers,
for
grandfathers.
everybody.
Look at Queen Bee's mom approaching
100 years old, yeah.
Diba?
Now, quick question. For those viewers who can't attend meetings because the meetings are held in Metro Manila, how can they get or gain access to information about all the Moringaling meetings that you've talked about? How will they be updated?
They can email me. My email address is Bernadette Arellano, no
At
space,
Yahoo.
at yahoo.com.
As
And
simple
I
as that.
usually
Respond.
to them.
Okay, and probably to all the viewers, you can either text or email also the studio. So if you have any questions, then we'll get in touch with, of course, our guest speaker. So actually, we are already going towards the end of our program.
Oh,
It's very,
so
very
short.
quick, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, like what you were talking about. So, Queen Bee, is there anything you'd like to mention? Any messages you'd like to share to our viewers?
Yes, there's a big market for moringa products in different forms, be it leaves, be it fresh leaves or dried leaves, be it powder, be it capsules or tablets, be it personal care products. There's very big market. You will see in body shop stores that they're making use of moringa, but they all come from Africa. But we would like to make a mark in the world market, being this is the high quality or the highest quality moringa of the Philippines. So we have to set standards.
All right. Thank you, Queen Bernie Arellano. Now, Dean.
Well, to all of our viewers, your wellness in the workplace has tried to bring you outside to green farming through our Queen Bernie Arellano here. Remember, wellness is in your hands, and maybe until the next time we see each other, try to eat as much greens in your plate, be it malunggay or something else, and it will really bring your family to wellness.
Right, and then hopefully with me, I will try eating moringa. Hopefully not look colored green. So, and with that, again, I'd like to thank all of you who's been watching us, Moringaling Philippines, people, the staff, the studio, our director, the president, broadcast manager, and of course, I'd like to thank my sponsors, David Salon for my hairstyle all the time, Nancy Cabanier of Greenbelt 1, and of course, the branch located in Shumart, Makati. I'd also like to thank Michelle Lim of Occasion, and of course, Miss Nini Magsin of Paraiba. To all of the viewers, again, thank you so much for watching and supporting the workplace. This is Mary Beth Nave. Again, with the right attitude and positive outlook, you'll find meaning in what you do. And of course, work will be something to look forward to. Thank you again. I'll see you next week.